Julianne, one question about growing up real quick there. Mom a psychiatrist, dad a military judge. How difficult was it as a teenager to pull something over your parents when you got a family like that?
To tell you the truth, I was pretty tame as a teenager, so there wasn't much that I was pulling over. But they were pretty observant, so there wasn't a lot of room for that either.
Over the last few years, I read a lot of interview articles about you. The great pictorials, you photograph just beautiful. You're beautiful in real life.
Thank you.
The issue about the 50 most beautiful people in the world, and then another magazine did a thing about who will replace Julia Roberts. What's your opinion about hype? Does that make you smile, or do you take it with a grain of salt?
I think that, it's very much separate from what we do personally. I think there's Hollywood, and there's kind of this machine and this thing that turns out, articles and pictures and whatever. And then there's what you're doing personally. There's the work that you do, and they're separate. And I think it's always important to keep them separate because they really don't have any relation to each other.
I love the scene, the first scene with you and Mark Wahlberg. And adult films aren't known for the quality of the dialogue or the quality of the acting. How hard is it for a talented actress like yourself to do bad acting?
Well, it's interesting because I had to make a decision about what kind of an actor Amber was going to be. Because there are varieties of experience and varieties of talent within the adult film world too. So I didn't necessarily need to make her good or bad or whatever, but I did have to choose something, and I chose to make her, not terrific, kind of static. So it was, it's interesting to play because you obviously have to kind of, mess around until you find the right tone and not overplay it. But hopefully it's okay. So.
A movie like this, a lot of the press people before the screening were wondering, well, what's it going to be like? Is this going to be like an exploitive film? Or is it going to be serious? A lot of films look great on script, then go bad afterwards. Were you a little fearful in the beginning, especially with such a young director? I
wasn't actually afraid at all because I do find, actually, that the scripts really do pretty much follow, what is there. It's very difficult to make a bad movie out of a good script. I think the script always wins out. You've really got to kind of torture it and twist it around. And because Paul was the writer and the director, I knew that he had a singularity of vision when it came to this project. And so he was somebody that I could rely on. He was going to stick to his, there was nobody who was going to kind of, change it around in between. He was the one that was doing it all the way through. So I had a lot of confidence in him.
Do you have a sense that on this film there's a lot more discussion on how to promote it?
To tell you the truth, marketing is something that I kind of keep myself apart from because it's not something that helps me as an actor one way or another. So that's sort of the business aspect of Hollywood, and there are people who are, experts in that who really know how to handle that, but I kind of concern myself with just the making of the film.
Has that ever happened that you've done a film and you saw it marketed and you were kind of disappointed in what they did with it?
Yeah, I have had films that I cared about a great deal that I felt were not given any advertising at all, and then disappeared. A film that I did called Safe kind of was there, and then there was sort of nothing about it, and then it disappeared, and then turned up a lot on 10 best lists and stuff, but it was already gone. So I thought that was really unfortunate.